My name is Hugo, and I have DACA, and my DACA expires on March 9.
I think data is, a really essential part of the news and telling stories is like putting things in context. What happened last year? What happened, 5 years before that? If you don't have data to understand those things, when you're just writing or reporting in kind of a vacuum of what's going on right now, I think that's really unhelpful. So I don't think they always need to be numbers story, but I think data is a really important part of storytelling.
And protection from deportation, with one caveat: it must be renewed every 2 years. And in September, Attorney General Jeff Sessions said DACA recipients whose permits expired after March 5th would not be allowed to renew them.
I'm starting with data. I'm going to a data source, I'm getting a spreadsheet, I'm putting that data together myself, and then I'm asking questions of data, like why was this 1 year, bigger? Why are these two counties have rates that are way higher? What happened? What's going on? And I think it's basically the same as traditional reporting, then I'm calling sources and I'm talking to people. I think if you only are working in your data, then you'll kind of lose sight of what else is happening in the world, and maybe you just got a bad data entry from someone. So I think it's really important to investigate your data as much as you would a person. And then as I go to, think about my story, a lot of that is, okay, what can be told best through, one chart, one graphic. Maybe that's a easier way to see something visually versus me having to explain, well, in this town in Kentucky, the rate was this, and the other town was this, and they were this far apart. Maybe I'm just gonna have a map, and I'm gonna map all those rates in all of those counties. It was kind of ground zero of the opioid crisis. I was in the data to kind of find, what was going on in these places, what was different. What really struck me about these two towns is that on the one side in Ohio, if you overdosed, they were arresting you and charging you with a misdemeanor, basically, for inducing panic or something they called it. And on the other side of the border in Kentucky, they were trying to get you into treatment. They were basically handling things completely different, and yet their rates were the same. And so I was really intrigued by this question of, what works. Data journalism isn't like scary and daunting. Get familiar with it, and this should just really be a small part of everyone's sort of way of doing journalism. And I want, at the end of the day, the most people to read and interact with my stories, whether that's through words or graphics or data. So that's what I'm thinking about the most, in whatever format I can best tell that story.